Welcome to the Morgue Logs. This is our very first recording. Thank you for all of you new subscribers. We've only got about 155 of you, so we would love to have more people sub to the channel. As you can see, we're going to put up a lot of interesting commentary, opinions. We've already visited a number of places across the U.S., so we're pretty excited to put out some new content, and I am the producer, Z. You can call me Producer Z, and of course our very, very excellent host of the show, JT Colfax, the Morgue Logs with JT Colfax. How you doing, JT?
Not bad. It's been an interesting 7 days.
It certainly has. This entire country has been riveted, the media mainly, has been riveted by a killer on the loose. That we first get these pictures released by the media of the killer in a cab wearing a mask. I mean, anybody wearing a mask in 2024 is sus, right? It was a requirement. You couldn't go eat. You couldn't go rent a car. You couldn't buy a home or rent a home if you didn't wear a mask, or go to a bar and have a drink, on a plane. But here we are in 2024. If you're wearing a mask, it's likely that you're doing something nefarious. In this case, it was assassinate the chief executive of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. So
Who?
I know. That's right.
Oh, that little detail.
That greedy capitalist blowhard, Brian Thompson, that no one knew his name before. No one cared really about this issue of healthcare in America and the disparity and the problems with the healthcare system, mainly caused by the government, JT, in my opinion. But that being said, it's always good to blame a middle-aged white dude wearing a polo who's making $10 million a year. Throw in a little bit of that he's under investigation for insider trading. What a fucking scumbag. So let's kill him.
The American way.
The American way, and it's the Gen Z way. We've got this killer, Gen Z killer, who took him out because grandma's cancer surgery got denied. No, we learned nope, because dad's Alzheimer's medication didn't get paid for. This up. Nope, not that. It was his own desires, his own needs, his own selfish, narcissistic Gen Z that caused him to blow a top and blow the back out of his target, Brian Thompson. So what do you make of all of this?
Well, he had his own back blown out too, and it seems to be part of the big problem. I guess we're not going to talk about blow by blow, like it began on the 4th and they found the backpack 2 days later, because everybody in the world knows these details. We're just trying to examine the social phenomenon of what's going on with this. It's like he that bullet hole and then stuck a finger in the wound. Like it's really uncovering a huge amount of dissatisfaction in the country. Some of the notes I've written for this are
read them. What is it?
Are on a page that has at the top, this page intentionally left blank. And then I put my notes there. This is obviously from insurance of my own, and it rejects me in every language, including something called a rumitha. Yes, in case I.
So why don't you go make a ghost gun and blow some people away? So what's fascinating about all of this, to me, Colfax, is the obsession that people have when you first had these pictures released. And you could see, you probably could tell us some of the gay perspective of people's eyes started twitching up when they saw that sharp jawline released in front of the hostel when he was checking out, and then later released him peering in a taxi cab. Some of these photos had people turn their heads a little bit. There is a huge aspect to this story of the attractiveness, the hotness, the sexiness that this assassin brings to the table and the conversation. I think that
it literally took a jump. The first shocking video was of him shooting Mr. Thompson, but you couldn't tell whether that was a teenager or a 70-year-old man in all those clothes. But when they did get that smiling with the clerk thing, it made things explode in a whole different way. It helped this atmosphere of herohood that's being bestowed upon him.
Yes, hero or villain, really. The fact that this killer came from an incredibly wealthy family. So you just saw the narratives collapse everywhere. You first had the narratives that this was probably a targeted shooting, maybe by a professional assassin, and then by someone disaffected by the insurance company. They were denied serious medical care, or their families died some painful deaths because of the lack of care, and then the narrative collapsed. And then so you just see these narratives collapsing everywhere. Doesn't look like that was the case. This shooter, Luigi, was fighting for himself. It looks like he was injured in a surfing accident, right? When's the last time, JT, like last week, we were surfing in Hawaii. We were at one of those camps that you can live for 6 months of your all of us gets to go on these 6-month Hawaiian excursions. And then we go to Japan, and then we go to Latin America on these surfing tours, and we all get our backs injured. And damn it, why can't insurance just solve the problem when we got these pesky pain issues that come up when we jet set around the world?
And then still go hiking afterwards. But the interesting thing about that camp in Hawaii, it's not a camp. It's on the 40th floor of one of the Ala Moana towers, 14 rooms and a room with I don't know how many bunks in it. I've seen the floor plan. It's how luxurious is that? Minutes from the beach, you've got a 360 angle of all around Waikiki or Honolulu. It's amazing.
It turns out that this Mangione family is wealthier than Brian Thompson or any executive at United Healthcare. And not only that, but he wasn't a country club kid. He owned the country club kids. He wore his polos as the chairman of all the country clubs, not just being a member of one. And then you find out that he's a student at this Gilman school. Again, the idea that health insurance is kind of a gross industry is absolutely true. The fact that people get regularly, daily denied coverage for things that they should get covered for is a great issue to talk about. But this is literally the worst person in the world, some hypocritical, jet-setting, wealthy Gen Z who had his own back problems, and it's likely that he was mad because he couldn't have sex because of his back injury sustained surfing in Hawaii.
He was in 6th grade, and they were family, and then from then on till high school, paying $40,000 a year for his education. When I was in 6th grade, I would come home with my permission slip and ask my mother for $2 for the zoo trip. You know what I mean? That was the big day.
And then you see the narratives again collapsing, that we jump off this boat, we go on the next boat, we test this. You see the online trolls and the people that have been supporting this individual that, oh, now it's a psyop, or this is a false flag operation, because that if it was grandma's cancer surgery got denied and some young Gen Z that gave a flip about his grandma and was fighting for her at Columbia University or Memorial Sloan Kettering at the hospitals in New York City or New York Presbyterian, and they were going to get this cancer surgery, and it got denied on the last day, and grandma sadly tragically passed away the next day, and I'm going to go pick up a gun and kill the guy that denied it. That's one narrative, but that's completely the opposite of what happened here. I mean, this was probably a back injury sustained while this kid was jet setting around the world. This Gen Z kid, wealthy, from the Gilman School in Baltimore. I mean, a hugely prominent family, a hugely wealthy family. And here he is.
Do you think I know they have a lot of expenses right now. It's not revealed who's paying for the lawyer, but it's obviously them. They probably cashed in one of their nursing homes to pay for this and threw the people out on the street.
Where they actually did kill grandma, right?
But I'm going to ask them since they're business people, if they would help fund my restaurant, and I'll call it PsyOps.
Well, Psyopsioso, though. You've got to have some Italian in there if you want to get any Mangione money.
Yeah, and the food is fake and cheap.
It's fascinating. And then again, you cannot deny the fact that when those first photos got released, a bunch of women, some men, a lot of men maybe, gay men and straight men maybe, turned their side eye and said, this guy looks pretty attractive. And wouldn't you know that it was his undoing? The clerk, the flirty, thirsty woman clerk at the hostel that told him, shamed him, and said, hey, I want to see your smile. Let me see your beautiful smile. This dumbass takes down, because he hasn't gotten laid in 20 years or ever. He smiles, takes his mask down, and boom, right there, the surveillance cameras are there to take hundreds of pictures of him. And what do you know? It's not the surveillance state that everybody's so fearful of that caught him and matched his identity and found where he was. It was a low-paid, low-wage McDonald's workers who now people are attacking and threatening and sending in death threats to this low-wage working class, where Luigi hasn't been only to eat and use the Wi-Fi and run from the law. He hasn't spent time in. Trump has spent more time working in McDonald's than Luigi has, or anyone in his family. And now that's the site of the recriminations, the rats at the McDonald's.
And interestingly, it's not nailed down yet, but for the last couple of days, there has been some references to the NYPD hedging around on whether that the person does not deserve or qualify for the reward. So that is really the issue.
I
think it's the issue is that because they called the local police, you're qualified if you call the NYPD. So
that is such a scam.
Yeah, it's not going to play good. It's not going to play. I would be. And now I work at McDonald's, and I can't even go to work because they know who I am, and and I can't get the $50,000. I would be really pissed. Yeah, I've seen some serious gay writing in publications about, and I've got loads of notes on ridiculousness, but the about the this thing is pronging on the erasure of bias, which has always been a thing in the gay community, as in bisexual people are just kind of nobody knows what to. Nobody deals with it, You don't see people running around identifying as bi, not much. And so this is going to.
Well, have you ever met Gen Z? That's about 70% of them claim to be bi. But go ahead. The female perspective and how all of these women, incredibly thirsty women, across the country.
The insurance paid for your trans operation?
They denied. Nope, they denied it, and now I'm hunting the CEO.
Join the army.
Yeah, or go to jail, go to prison, go to Trump's or Kamala's prison, and they'll both pay for it.
This guy is dead serious, as in to help the movement to help him, Luigi. And by the way, also everyone is just Luigi. You know what I mean? Like, if his name was Jim, they wouldn't be calling him Jim. You know what I mean? But they love him, so it's just Luigi. Your name. Seriously urges people to keep making Luigi memes to raise his profile. I feel like if we can keep him in the spotlight and perpetuate his virality, there won't be any jury that is completely unbiased. If we keep pushing support for Luigi, it could cause a mistrial, making him innocent. This man is seriously trying to get people to make more memes about him. And because of the idea that the jury will find Luigi sexy with his virality, they won't convict, even though there's a mountain of.
Have they met Wade Wilson? I mean, the jails and prisons in this country are littered with attractive men that got put away by a jury that was not convinced because of their attractiveness. Now, attractive people definitely get a pass in our society and culture for sure, especially attractive female pedophiles for sure. But for Mr. Old Luigi, he's just a white man, and so he better not look for his attractiveness to get him off, because if this trial takes place in 4 years, by then it will be most certainly a forgotten story. There will be his, court appearances and his outbursts. By the way, did you see a bad back when he was screaming and yelling, getting hauled into the court appearance? I didn't see someone with a bad back. I saw someone jumping and crazy, loving these thousands of cameras he saw behind him. It's a completely fascinating story in that, to me, it confirms the biases maybe that I have about Generation Z. I'm a card-carrying member millennial who we're not a perfect generation, but this particular Gen Z killer is everything that I have had confirmation bias about, the hypocritical, jet-setting, consumerist lifestyle that many Gen Zs love and wish for. And in fact, all of these people that say insurance is fraud and scamming us, every single one of them would take the position that Brian Thompson was in, with his large paycheck and beautiful family, nice house, in the consumerist Gen Z culture that social media pushes on everybody, where if you don't have money and you don't have, these beautiful cars and everything, you're not on, and you don't have a six-pack abs, you aren't online. You aren't getting any clicks. Nobody's watching you. No one gives a shit about you. But So
give me that job right now, and I'll come to work in a suit of armor every day for about 3 months, and then I'll quit. And that money alone will be enough to make me happy the rest of my life until I go into the cold, cold ground.
I will visit you. Don't worry, JT.
Will you help me sell my stock options?
No, but how about the Morgue logs? I will auction those off at some point. For all of the men out there that want to know what it takes to get laid, basically you've got to be Luigi. You've got to have a six-pack abs. You've got to be super wealthy. You've got to be super smart. You got to have a little killer in you, and you can't have a bad back. And that's maybe why Luigi was so.
You set me up right there when you said you got to have a little killer in you. There is plenty of people that want that killer in them right now, lusting and thirsting. Let me show you this one poster. He spoke at various. One poster spoke of various singers and Pokemon items, and in connection with Luigi, and later took it back, saying that was a lie, not for attention, but for chaos. This is proving, gay or not, that the entire world is just one big LARP now. You know what I mean? They're all a LARP now. They're entertainment.
And, it's a LARP, like trying to find the problems with our healthcare system and trying to figure out why people are limited in coverage. When you want to go to the best hospitals and your insurance company is not in network with the best hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Why do many doctors not accept Medicaid? Why do many doctors now stop accepting Medicare? Why is it private health insurance is essentially the ones propping up a lot of the system, in that a lot of Medicare and Medicaid government programs that pay for medical services why are doctors dropping coverages to those programs, but keeping, United Healthcare is such a terrible company that every single major medical system contracts with them. And yet many, many doctors have suspended or terminated their relationship with Medicare and Medicaid if you're on those programs. So this is a great time to open up a discussion about the problems in our healthcare, the problems that Obamacare happened, the problems that Obamacare created.
I'm sure it will come.
Resolve. Yep.
It made me literally, I might have overdone it a little bit for show, but it literally made me cringe when you said out of network. Those kind of words scare people and make people angry. I mean, the way it's been. Anyway, let's see what else is going on out there.
No one disagrees with you.
Someone put up a bogus.
Are you willing to kill for it?
Well, I'm willing to kill for a lot,
for a lot less, right?
You've
done a lot more for a lot less.
If you don't remember to take my pickles off at McDonald's in Altoona, bam! I'm telling you,
Michael Douglas will blow you away in.
Oh, I love that scene.
Falling down, yeah.
Let's see. Apparently, there's a bogus OnlyFans. I've never been there, and I don't know how to operate and look for that. It's probably gone by now, anyway. Let's see.
I'll check it out.
There's a magazine, a magazine called 34th Street, which is the University of Pennsylvania magazine.
That super elite Ivy League school. Okay,
yeah. That one costs like $100 a year to go there.
$100,000 a year. Yeah, that one.
They put up a post about that a screaming post, X post about that Luigi is equal opportunity. People are obsessed about this bi or gay thing. Let's see. And many places out there in the gay world are pushing this crackpot theory that Luigi was a scorned lover of the CEO. A couple of guys have claimed they had sex with him. One was black, and so the meme went around screaming, Mangione preferred dark meat.
I think that people are having some fun with this. I think that you have to look at all of the celebratory celebratory culture that's surrounding it as a bit of a LARP. I think that it's the idea, gay men want him to be gay, straight women want him to be able to fuck. And likely the truth is neither. I mean, I don't think Luigi is gay. He's sexless, but not gay. And I think that many women want him to have his back repaired, like he expected the CEO to give him a new back after his surfing accident, and he couldn't do it, so he killed him in the back.
It is also interesting.
Shot him in the back.
Like the Hawaii shot is so big everywhere. And it raised his profile like mad, which these people want. But he does have washboard abs in that. And it's like, how do you get, that's hard to get for anybody. How do you get it when you have the back injury?
Well, in your family, you're not working every day. You don't have a huge family to worry about. You're not worried about grandma's cancer surgery or your dad's heart issues, or you're worried about yourself. So you have a ton of time to invest in going to the gym 4 hours a day. That's how you get six-pack abs. To be a narcissist, selfish person like him. And I think that you have disposable time and no one else to care about but yourself.
Shirtless on top of a mountain with washboard abs and hiked up there. Was he chanting, my neck, my back the whole time he got up there? Because I know it would kill me to climb up wherever he was.
I mean, if you're gonna complain about your back problems, my neck, if you're gonna complain about this, at least he should have had a neck brace on in that photo at the top of the mountain where he was at. I mean, seriously. And don't let anyone know that you're out surfing every day because you have such a bad back.
That reminds me that while this is all. The gay world is just going mad and making up things sometimes too. But there is one thing, that he was arrested trespassing after closing hours at a park that does have a gay cruising area.
Okay, now we're on to something. So he was found with anyone else, possibly, or was it just? Does this report just say that he was alone, allegedly?
It says he was hiking in it, but
Well, who took that photo? That famous photo of him on top of that Hawaiian volcano mountain. Who took that photo, Colfax? Who do you think? Was that a man behind the camera or a woman behind the camera?
I think it was Trump. But,
Well,
you can just make up anything.
You know about something about Trump? Have you seen the people around Trump? He hires like only attractive, relatively. I mean, Sebastian Gorka.
He's gay.
Gorka is not. But it is funny about Trump how he likes good-looking people, men and women, around him. So
that's true. He thinks that
Luigi
people,
might be a higher on the list.
Ugly, fat people like me are bad optics.
You're out.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not important, but I'll bring up that I was much sexier than Luigi when I was that age.
Bullshit. You did not look like Luigi with his caterpillar.
I didn't have washboard abs, but I was good enough to walk up and down Santa Monica Boulevard. Anyway, let's see. Person of interest in more ways than one is some gay's remark. Oh my! This one's a little. All right, Luigi. This was a Facebook remark by somebody. Luigi, I have received your telekinetic message. I'm prepped and face down in the hotel room. People are throwing themselves at him.
Well, I mean, again, none of it related to actual insurance policy, government policy, nothing to improve anybody's life about no company, no new idea or product to set up people to help facilitate your denials or your appeals process. None of that. It's all about what you look like, what you feel, your internal reaction. They want this person to be this, and he's not. And, that kind of, like in any relationship, there's a romance period and then there's a realist period in which most relationships then break apart, and this one will. Because
do I hear your 3D printer going off in the background? How about this one?
No, you don't. The ATF just came and took it away from me, and just everybody that has a 3D printer now, get them out of there. The government's not going to compensate you. Thanks to Luigi.
Don't even try it. Nobody is going to donate to your GoFundMe expenses for your lawyer.
All 3D printers are now going to be banned by the government because of Luigi. All sound suppressants, you want to buy a sound suppressant, you'll wait 5 years, not 2 months. And, we got it down from 9 months that it was. Then it went to 2 months. Now, Luigi, thanks to Luigi's great work, you now won't be able to get a silencer or sound suppressant in the next 5 years. So thank you, Luigi.
Let us pray on Facebook by saying, may he be protected under the watchful eye of homosexual lust. The people are writing this shit.
Yeah, and you even see reporters huffing and puffing about it. And again, I mean, it's like all these men, you don't follow Andrew Tate and Hustler University, okay, and his bullshit scams. If you want to know what it takes to get a woman, get a set of abs like that, get a little Italian in you, get a little color in you, and, get some tan, get a family worth $100 million, go to prep school for 12 years at $50,000 a year, go to University of Penn, be super highly intelligent, and then go out and be a silent killer, assassin, and maybe you'll be able to get laid. Otherwise, sit on your ass and praise this guy. Or
there's all that. But I think one of the most important things about this is anything that you look at about it, articles, YouTubes, or anything that has comments. The comments are just incredible. There are very few. There are some, but very few of people like, we should be thinking about the family and all that. Or you people are, disgraceful for saying these things. There's some of those, but overwhelmingly, people are joking about it or frothing at the mouth about the insurance industry and or raising this guy into a hero. Another example of that is yesterday is the first day that we saw the attorney that was hired, most likely by his family. Who else? So the attorney pops into view, and then there's clips of him talking to the media. And below them are endless praising comments for this is a great attorney and all that. Like everything about Luigi and is just so praisable. Everything.
Until you look at the healthcare system that his family operated in Baltimore. Would it mean anything if Lorien Health Services denied a number of, they were involved in harming elderly people or their patients? Would it mean anything if, their country clubs rejected African Americans or women? Typical. Did the family operated healthcare treat their patients really good? I looked up some of the reviews, Colfax, and the reviews have not been as positive as one would think that Luigi's family's healthcare. Luigi once, absolutely, I have this idea that he cares about people. Doesn't look like Lorien Healthcare in Maryland has been caring about a bunch of people.
I've never been to those, but believe me, I've been to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds,
you have it.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nursing homes in the night, snatching, body snatcher, and the most obvious place where you usually get them
as a legal body transport.
As a legal,
yeah,
yes, and the most ordinary place. I was like a taxi driver for the dead, and
legally, yes.
So naturally, one of the probably it's either hospitals or the nursing homes. I would say the nursing homes are the number one place where corpses come from. They're just waiting there to die. And the prices they charge, and some of these places are filthy. I've seen people with beds. I could see their bones through around the buttocks because they just lay there. Yeah, because nobody would move them. They're supposed to be moved and turned every day, and it doesn't happen. And the bills go on.
Well, yeah, and so I mean, this is a ripe case for some investigative journalists or citizen journalists to look at some cases from this family's operated healthcare business and how they treated patients, how they particularly treated elderly patients and people that were bedridden in their care. So, I mean, again, this is all going to be. I mean, the fact that this sharp-jawed, very attractive killer was so smart, and it is clear that he was a smart, highly intelligent person. He's reading all these books. I mean, he's on Goodreads, talking about all these really, his praising Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Have you read Ted Kaczynski's book, by the way, that I sent you the other week?
I'll get to it. I'm reading Dr. Seuss, like apparently Luigi did also.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, he had some things to say about Kaczynski's, I guess, book about society and culture, which again, maybe there are some interesting points, and again, the entire healthcare conglomerate, starting with the government, is indefensible in this country. But we do have some of the best doctors and the best research, and we're on the front lines of a lot of advancements in medical care, and the fact that it's not trickling down, as it say, to the average consumer at times. But here's what's interesting too. The Kaiser Family Foundation put out a poll recently, not since before the shooting for sure, but 81% of people are satisfied and like their healthcare insurance, right? And so is this a case of I hate Congress, JT, but I love my congressman? Congress has a 12% approval rating, but almost all congressional people get reelected. I hate healthcare insurance, but I love my own. Is there something?
Yeah. You know what? Ever since we got to that nursing home bit, I just am flaming out, remembering some things. I'll tell you this one other thing that happened. I worked in the death industry in L.A., San Antonio, and Denver. And in Denver once, yes, and in Denver once, I picked up the father of one of the biggest, I think at the time, biggest and maybe still so. Anyway, the network, the anchor man of one of the biggest news stations here, I picked up his father, and that anchor man is now dead. So that makes me feel free to say this. I won't say their names, but um, that man, the father, was in one of the worst nursing homes I'd ever seen. And I get out of the car, get my gurney, and go up to it, open the doors. It's late at night, very late, and I get attacked by German shepherds roaming in the hallways. I have to make my way to the nurse's station first before, do papers and then go get him. And it's like they have German shepherds patrolling, and the man was in a mess. The whole place was a mess. It's unbelievable. I don't know whether to blame the system or the son was making good money, put him in that. It's one of the worst ones in town. It was in Commerce City, if you know Denver. That Commerce City is the armpit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look like, I mean, this was not a poor person that couldn't afford a surgery, and it looks like he did have surgery. It looks like he was. I mean, again, is this what a sexless incel man turns into? We've moved on. The Elliot Rogers of Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara, or wherever Elliot Roger was, the incel king, wiping out women when in fact he didn't really kill that many women, but he becomes the incel operator. And now we've moved on to this sexless incel that's not going to kill or try to kill or claim to kill or want to kill women, but he's just going to go shoot from the back this CEO at his bean counting conference, right? That's the term that Luigi used for an investor day, this investor day, where if you owned one share of United Healthcare, you had the right to go ask your the people that you own this share in, that you're shareholder and owner of this, you could actually interact with the executives that operate a company that you own part of. Now, all of those are going virtual.
Well, to end it, that's a good point. That thing came out today, I believe, that phrase. So what's your thoughts on the future, as in, it is going to drag on. I don't believe, like you said, that it'll go away. Even if 4 years, it won't be as big 4 years from now when he gets found guilty or whatever. But will he be found guilty? I mean, like, the people are actually going down that road, like, and his attorney is saying there's no evidence, and it's like, but the evidence is like on a truck full. It's a truck full of evidence. He's guilty as shit.
The glove didn't fit. The backpack didn't have the backpack didn't fit with all his monopoly money. I mean, his hands are all over the evidence. His DNA is all over the evidence. I mean, the actual, I was reading somewhere where someone said the actual killing itself was very well planned. He knew where this guy was going to be. He knew where this guy was staying. He stayed up overnight. I mean, again, you put a lot of people that are killers and assassins are very well educated and they're very smart. He planned out this killing very, very well. But the aftermath, he left it everywhere to be seen, heard. His DNA's over everything. And the government, essentially, in a case like this that has such high profile, and the fact that he's being, basically put up as a martyr, and believe me, cops want him that much more. And so the budget, there will be no budget to getting every single expert connecting him to the crime scene. And so he will be convicted. Here's what I see. Here's his problem, and here's his mistake. He got so much attention by shouting what he did at the media and what he said. People translated it. People tried to read into what he said. He was sort of like, this is an injustice to the American people. It's an insult. His marketability now is him saying and doing things to affect. If he really wanted to affect change, he would fire his attorney. I don't want the high-priced lawyers that mommy and daddy are going to pay for me for my $100 million of trust fund baby money. No, I'm going to go at it pro se, and I'm going to say, I mean, he's guilty, right? I mean, he's connected. It's it. The evidence is overwhelming. So his attorney gagged him. Did you see him when he came out from that meeting? He didn't say a word. So now this smart kid thinks he's going to get off by being silent,
I know.
which is going to muzzle him and his influence over what he wants to even talk about.
I don't know
So
that he thinks he's going to get off on it.
why
He
was he
knows,
silent then when he came
but
out?
he
When his
had
attorney
he
said,
had
keep your mouth shut, right?
he.
Because why?
Well, because he doesn't want to. You can only spew so many times before they take measures. You know what I mean? So
Now, what are you going to muzzle him now? What are you going to put a gag?
they
You're going to put
they
a ball
can.
gag in him? Oh, I want to see him have a ball gag
Now you're going to
going
get
into
the
court.
you're going to
Now
get the
you're going to
gays
turn.
all upset now with
Now
the
you're
wall.
going to turn. Now you're going to turn this guy into not just a hero and a martyr. You're going to turn. I mean, you're going to You're going to tenfold now increase him with the cameras clicking with a ball gag.
He'll make his next
We know a
eruption.
friend of ours, right, that likes ball gags. So
He'll
maybe
make it.
we can hire Mr. Bill for a ball gag order.
Well, I'll bet my next insurance premium that his next spout out is in a microphone in court. But unfortunately, they don't allow filming in Pennsylvania.
Well, his Twitter. I mean, who's operating his Twitter? I'd love to hack his Twitter page and
Oh, there's another thing.
take that over. I mean, he's gone from he had like 400 friends when this got started, 400 people that were listening to his bitching about his own problems because he hurt his back because he was in a lavish vacation somewhere, to now he's got like 500,000 people on Twitter that will listen to every single thing that no one is going to say. Where is that Twitter login? Colfax, find me that Twitter login.
You know, I don't really bother with tech and cash apps and things like that, but how can I find some way to grift off this? I mean, like a cash app, like please send me the money. I'll make sure to take care of Luigi.
You got this money flow now that's going to operate. So where it's going to be interesting to see, if Wade Wilson got a bunch of women. Believe me, Wade Wilson's going to have a problem in his commissary in the coming months because all these women throwing their panties at Wade and their money, wasting it in his commissary, are now going to be throwing it to Mr. Luigi. What do you think of this extradition that he's going to fight this extradition? They have 45 days. He's going to be in a Pennsylvania. They're not sending him to the jail, the local jail. They're sending him to a prison correctional.
Yeah, the immediate part that comes next is going to be the most boring part, as in he's going to be there for months in Pennsylvania, but he most assuredly will get taken to New York. The lawyer is probably going to fight like hell to keep that. The current lawyer is going to fight like hell to keep him in Pennsylvania, to keep the billing going. And I did see him asked by the media yesterday if he would accept GoFundMe type money for his expenses, and he went, "I'm thinking about it," or something like that. As in, like, you can't like turn that off. As in, it could reach millions.
I mean, and it's not like he's got lawyers like Cordelia Botkin who fought her extradition to Delaware in the late 19th century. Miss Botkin, of course, the famous chocolatier killer,
The poisoner.
The poisoner from across the country. One of the first cases using the mail, caught and assassinated the wife of her lover. That is something that we're going to cover here at the Morgue Logs. That's Cordelia Botkin. Colfax, you remember that she fought extradition. The extradition case for her collapsed, and she had to get prosecuted in California and not Delaware, right?
And her son was named Beverly, and he drank himself to death before he got out of his 20s, and he seems gay.
We'll see how this case progresses. We'll cover it. I think that it's a great time to open up a discussion about, the failures of our healthcare system. I think that it's a great time to discuss the failures of government policy. And unfortunately, none of that will be addressed. The government will crack down on 3D printing. The government will crack down on sound suppressants. Corporate America will go into hiding. You will have even less. They will not publish who's the executives. They'll get some exemption to get all of their addresses delisted. They probably won't meet with shareholders in person, if they will at all anymore. Your premiums, your prices will probably go up, and they will be flanked. Corporate America now will be flanked with private security. So we have Luigi to thank for a lot of this. And
why should we be paying for those execs to be having a junket to New York City in the first place. Bang!
I mean, that is ultimately what it comes down to. It could have been just a jealous Luigi at the lifestyle of this corporate CEO, that he was just so smart, but he didn't rise in corporate America as much as he wanted to or could have, and he was angry about it. And this guy could have sex and produce children, and poor Luigi was just a disgruntled incel looking to take out his back pain from a Hawaiian surfing accident on a corporate CEO.
Yeah, it's like Cher, Madonna, Luigi. One name, that's all you need. Anyway, we got to get going because I have to spend the rest of the day hunting down the alleged fake nudes of Luigi.
Well, I will log into my OnlyFans and see what I can scour from there and see where these fake Luigi accounts are popping up at. We will meet back next time. I thought you were going to say you were going to have to go back to fight United Healthcare on an insurance denial.